Hello, my name is Charles Tackett, and I'm going to introduce you to the Ohio Teachers Evaluation System, OTES. Senate Bill 52 in 2004 authorized the creation of Educator Standards Board. The ESB created the Ohio Standards for the teaching profession. ESB also created the Ohio Standards for Principals and Ohio Standards for Professional Development. House Bill 1 in 2009 told ESB to create a model for the evaluation systems for teachers and principals. The Ohio Teacher Evaluation System, OTES, was created by high school administrators, Ohio teachers, higher education faculty, like college professors, and reps from Ohio's Professional Association. They collaborated with national experts within the area of teaching evaluations from schools throughout the country. The creation. OTES was created as a research-based, transparent, fair, and adaptable system. It is used for the content of Ohio school districts, rural, urban, and suburban. This is a working document that is based on assessment and feedback. School districts create and mold own evaluations with OTES as the format to use. They align with Ohio Teaching Standards for Teachers. Requires teachers being evaluated to be observed 2 times. These 2 form observations are 30 minutes each, along with required classroom walkthroughs from your administrator. Administrators rate each evaluation looking at the following levels of performance. Number 1, accomplished. Number 2, skilled. Number 3, developed. Number 4, ineffective. Each teacher will receive a written report of their evaluations. The educator utilizes a classroom level and value-added program through OTES. These programs are created by a nonprofit organization. These programs look at student growth for that grade level and subject that the person is being evaluated in. This gives educators professional development opportunities to enhance their educational growth. This is viewed as a support tool for educators who are performing badly on their OTES evaluations. Also provides financial resources for professional development opportunities. Teachers holding a teaching license, along with utilizing 50% of the time they are employed instructing children, are to be evaluated using OTES. And like I said, that happens twice a year, 30 minutes with multiple walkthroughs. An OTES evaluation needs to be completed by your administrator by May 1st of each school year. Written reports to the teacher being evaluated by May 10th. So that's a big date. Evaluations will happen less for educators who are in the skilled area, along with accomplished ratings on their OTES from the previous academic school year, if they are returning to the same school district. So if you're a skilled teacher, more than likely you're going to stay in your district. If not, you're probably going to have to go through the 2 observations and the multiple walkthroughs. This allows school districts to either use OTES framework or their own evaluation model. OTES is used to help educators in improving their teaching performance and growth. Items covered yearly through OTES. These are big things, big ticket items. Teacher growth, student growth measures, and combining student and teacher growth, along with utilizing the OTES model, educator results, the evaluation rubric, and evidence to form a comprehensive rating of the educators. Teacher performance. Evaluated by using Teacher Performance Evaluation Rubric. Measured using Ohio Teachers Standards for Teaching Profession. Along with, the evaluator has to use a plethora of information to create educators' performance rating. Next slide shows that information utilized by your administrator. They look at your professional growth and improvement plan, your observations, the walkthroughs, and your conferences. You'll have a pre-conference and you'll have a post-conference. And these all are keys in determining the teacher performance rating. Student growth. Huge percent of the teacher evaluations on how your student perform yearly. Used to measure the student's academic progress. Academic progress marked by growth from one point in the school year to another. Okay, we're going to talk about the original framework of the OTES evaluation. 2012, State Board of Ed mentioned many factors that needed to be used in the educator's evaluation. They allotted for 50% of the teacher performance and 50% to be student growth measures. However, the alternative framework, educator's evaluation compressed of 50% teacher performance, 35% student growth, and 15% alternative educational elements. Alternative framework, school districts can select one of the following to complete educator's evaluation. So there's a list of 5 of them: pupil surveys, educator self-evaluations, peer review evaluations, pupil portfolio, and any other district-approved assessment. School districts are required to enter a score of 1 to 4 in the following areas. The areas are teacher performance, each pupil's growth measure, and if selected, another component. Scores entered into the teaching and principal evaluation system called ETPES. ETPES determine a point value that relates to the scores of the following areas, and the goal is you want to reach 600. So student growth, value added scores, recommended vendor assessments, or pupil learning objective. Effective, 5, 600 points. Above average, 4, 400 points. Average, 3, 300 points. Approaching average, 2, 200 points. Below average, 1, no points. Teacher performance, accomplished would be 4, 600 points. Skilled, 3, 400 points. Developing, 2, 200 points. And lastly, ineffective, 1, no points. Alternative component is level 4, 600 points, level 3, 400 points, level 2, 200 points, and level 1, no points. ETPES takes the points from the following 3 areas by using the appropriate percent or weight. Original teacher framework evaluation. The following is an example of the Ohio Department of Education on how the formula is entered into ETPES. Example 1, grade 4 A2 teacher. Mr. Wilson teaches grade 4 and is an A2 teacher who teaches value-added courses, but not exclusively. He is using value-added and vendor assessments for his student growth measures. He has 4 different measures that need to be entered into the ETPES, 3 for student growth and 1 for performance. On the left, you can see the student growth measure is 50%, performance on standards 50%. Then at the bottom, you can see that they use the numbers at the top to put into a formula. And it says, using the formula, ETPES will calculate the final summative rating by multiplying the points for each measure by percentage divided by the number of component ratings using equal weights for each component rating, and then summing the applied points. And there's the formula down below. This teacher, Mr. Wilson, got a 188. He is in the developing area. This is the same type of thing, but we're talking about the alternative framework. And this is the 50 plus 35 plus 15% to equal that 100%. And like I said before in the previous slide, This is an example from the Ohio Department of Ed of how the form is entered. Example 2 is a middle school art teacher. Miss Reynolds teaches middle school art and is a C teacher, meaning she has no value added or vendor assessment data. She is using 4 student learning objectives along with an approved student survey, an alternative component. The school district must enter 6 different measures for her evaluation in the ETPAS. On the left-hand side again, we have student growth measures, and this time it's 35%. Next, performance on standards, 50%, and the alternative component is 15%. Down below, it says using the formula, ETPAS will calculate the final sum of the rating by multiplying the points for each measure by measure's weight and then summing the applied points together. The actual calculation is below. And this lady, Miss Reynolds, she was 421, which is skilled. Next, I'm talking about the Ohio Department of Ed provides a very helpful document of frequently asked questions about the teacher evaluation process. Click on the link below to get the answers to the questions. Thought this was a very helpful page, helped me out quite a bit. I just wanted to include this because some of you guys' presentations probably covered this as well, but I thought it'd be good for somebody who's just understanding what OTES is. So the questions being covered are: what forms are needed? What is used on the rubric? How is that determined? School districts do not use OTES. What do they do? What do they need to do to use their own? Language on the rubric says and or if all areas are achieved. Why is that? So that's a big gray area that needs to be addressed when, and I'll be through this document. Next is pre and post conferences. Are they required? Formal observations need to be scheduled or announced. And my evaluator needs to script while in my observation. Next, it says, please click on the link below and take the quizzes over OTES. Should only take you about 3 or 4 minutes. There's a little quiz, 5 questions, 3 multiple choice, 1 open-ended question. Hopefully you've learned a few things about OTES from my presentation. Next is my resources. With that being said, thank you very much for listening to my Ohio Teachers Evaluation System PowerPoint. Thank you.